Samantha Mulweni Abushani de Macharoni. Salam alaikum, namaste, good day, goeiedag. Awe Maskanders, my name is Winston and welcome back to my channel, Bushes at Boer. On this channel, we discuss everything relating to small scale farming and those small projects that you can do yourself, save on some money, and enjoy the fruit of your labor. And in today's video, I want to share with you our pecan nut harvest for 2023. So stay tuned. So we've been here for like 2 years, and for the past 2 years, we have been harvesting nuts and just giving it away. We gave it to friends, family, colleagues, people at church, just to say that listen, we have nuts, and yeah, sooner or later we're gonna start selling, and they know at least where to buy it from. So, and the reason why and that's the first reason why we gave it away. The second reason was we were still learning about nuts, and we're still learning though. But this is the first year after 2 years. This is the first year. This is our third harvest. So when we moved in here in the middle of harvesting. The nuts was it was time to harvest when we moved in here. Last year, well, so we just gave away nuts and we never kept record of what we were doing. This year was the first time, the third harvest, we decided let's keep record of everything that's happening so that we can keep track of what's happening and we know where to improve. And this is what we were doing. What we did was the boys and I, by the way, that's Lanil, my younger son, but we all went and we went around the whole property. And what we've done was all the trees that has nuts on, we tied a little piece of wire. I didn't want to buy any string or what and tape or whatever. We have a lot of those wire lying around. We use what we have, and what we've done was every single tree that has nuts on, we tied it with a piece of string. In that way, we will know which trees are carrying and which does not carry. So what I then did was I went around and I looked at all of those trees, and what I found was that the trees that we've that carried nuts was 109 trees. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is what I've done. I walked around and I marked each tree. I used the old system. I can't remember what the system is used, but I actually made notes of every tree that on the property basically. So it came down to 109 trees that are carrying nuts and 72 trees that are not carrying nuts, giving us a total of 181 nuts on the property. That means for 2023, 60% was carrying and 40% was not carrying. But while I was doing my rounds, I also made notes in terms of why the trees, or rather the condition of the trees. So some of them was a lack of water. Some of them had rocky soil around it, and there was one tree that was just surrounded by weed, and obviously that tree had to compete with the weed to get some feeding, and which means that the leaves of that tree was sucked dry and it turned brown. So that's one of the trees that we need to look at. And then also I found 3 of the trees dead, and then like completely dead, dried out dead. I don't know what the cause there was. And then I found small trees that were growing again, and that is because of the goats. I know that the goats were leaning on the smaller trees, and as they lean on it, it will break, and then obviously it died, and the trees started regrowing again. And then some of the trees, then I found one that where the tree was just like almost like falling over. Others needed support. It's just the structure of the tree is just not straight up. It doesn't grow up straight, so it needs a little bit more of support just to make it grow up further. And then lastly, in front of the property we have some peach trees, and some of these trees needs to compete with those peach trees. It's planted too close to those trees, and I think I need to prune those trees down, or I'm gonna have to take out the pecan trees and plant them elsewhere. Some of them even one tree was even under another tree, and it's like completely in that shade of that specific tree. So we started harvesting, and what we've done was we've harvested, and I also weighed the nuts. And what you can see there is kilos. We are weighing it per kilo of the bags that I've harvested, and we've harvested about 52 kilograms, like actively harvested, the ones that we can reach. There are some more nuts on the trees that we just can't get to, and those are the ones that obviously we're gonna have to wait until the wind blows them down, or we're gonna have to go there with a long stick and hit them down. So guys, that's the harvest for 2023. 52 kilograms that we've actively harvested. Mind you, let me just mention this, that it is 52 nuts, 52 kilograms of nuts that is quality enough for us to sell. There are other nuts that, when we peel them, I inspect each and every nut. I'll leave a link over here to show you that I inspect each and every nut. So if it's not quality, I put it one side, and that's for us to use at home, and also the ones that we are giving away. So 52 kilograms of nuts that we've actively harvested, and also 60% of our trees are actively carrying. And now going forward, we need to know which trees to give more attention to, feed them, water them, so that they can start growing again and give us more nuts, so that we can sell more nuts. So also, maybe just to as a added information that I can give you, more information that I can give you in terms of us selling the nuts. We have been selling the nuts, and we found that people are mostly want the nuts outside of the shell. So maybe next year, or rather, yeah, next year, we're gonna have to harvest them and peel them out of the husk, also take them out of the shell, and package them in vacuum seal out of the shell. Obviously the price is going to go up, because that's just how pecan nuts goes. If it's in the shell, you pay a little bit cheaper per kilo. If it's outside of the shell, you're going to pay a little bit more per kilo. And that's just our pecan nut harvest for 2023 that I'd like to share with you. Stay tuned for lots more information in terms of pecan nut trees, because we're still gonna prune them, we're gonna feed them, we still need to trace the irrigation so that they can get a little bit more water and not dependent on rainwater itself. So we've come to the end of the video. If you like the information that I shared, give me the thumbs up. If you don't, give me the thumbs down. If you have any questions, suggestions regarding pecan nuts and whatever you want to ask me, please leave them in the comment section down below. And also, if you are the expert, I appreciate criticism, constructive criticism. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please destroy the subscribe button and the notification bell, so you can be notified whenever we have a new update. But that's it from me for now. Until next time, keep well, stay safe, and stay blessed. Away.